everyone, Shawn Clement here, Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center, headquarters for Wisdom in Golf. And today it's a fun little episode on how we help Barry. One of my trips to California, I go to California a couple times a year, and Barry showed up with his wife, and we had a fantastic time, but I kind of hit him a little hard with a couple of things that he wasn't aware of, number one, and it kind of discouraged him, but I gave him a couple of things to take home that he really took to heart. And he just sent me some footage of his swing and the exercises that I gave him, and man, oh man, I couldn't be prouder. That was really what was preventing him from getting to his next level. So what was happening is, and we talk about how we want to stay centered, and he was overdoing that unbeknownst to him. So instead of swiveling the posterior to the target, he was swiveling the upper spine toward the target in the backswing, and that was placing more weight on his left side. His right side was a little loose at the time, and his right foot was a little loose to the ground. So then on the downswing, because he's in front of the ball, he's got to reach back to get behind the ball. So in so reaching back, he would throw his weight back. You know, we talk about this as a reverse weight shift or reverse pivot in golf. But he was trying to keep his right foot down on the way through. So to him, this was a good position to be in that flat-footed anchored position. So and it was subtle, you know, so he would take it back, nice turn, take it through, and it was innocent enough. And one of the things, now if you saw one of my recent videos on alignment that I did down in New Jersey, that was part of the culprit, the fact that he was aiming to the right. And you'll see, down the line view, when you see Barry, you'll see him throwing clubs down the line, and he was definitely lined up too far to the right, even though his throws were pretty good. They were pretty much in line with where his body was aiming. So number one, we asked him to perform the walking drill. So walking to a better swing, or walk to a better swing video. So we get the ball rolling as far as perpetual motion. We allow the arms to swing in each direction. So I'm not trying to place the arms or pull or push on the arms. I'm just allowing the arms to fall. I allow the arms to fall in front of me. And don't let it hit me. So I let the arms pass by me, and notice how the body's pivoting nicely. And then I just allow each arm to pass by me in both directions. And then I get this beautiful, rhythmic, timed, swing. Then the brain can identify how far we need to go. So if I needed to go to that ball there, I see the blur of the club. So keep the eyes on the ground as you perform this task. And you see the blur of the club along the ground there, and the brain says, hey, we're too far. Okay, so we start walking. There we go. And then allow the brain to cut through the dandelion stem. So the first exercise I want you to do, if you're doing this on grass at home, you get that nice posture. Yes, I can cut grass. Yes, I can toss that heavy sandbag into the back of that pickup truck. And yes, my arms can swing freely in front of me. So then I start making some rows. So watch as the club cuts back and through, and the brain identifies that. And all right, I need that much. So the brain knows exactly how much to step to see the width of the blur go to the next cut of grass, the next row of grass. So once we have that, and we have that kind of predictability, well, gosh, getting through a row of balls is, you'll find it's very, very easy to do. So you go from cutting rows to cutting through tees. Again, we're not trying. A lot of you are going to, at first, you start getting close to the ball, and all of a sudden you start yanking and shoving on the club, and your timing goes to heck in a handbasket. So we allow the arms to swing, and we don't do anything to touch them. So you're a witness to your own arms getting pulled around by gravity. It's like a ball on that string, right? And then we cut the rows, and then we cut through tees. So here's that tee. Let it swing, let it swing, let it swing, let it swing. Yes, I allowed the arms to cut through the tee. So you'll see that Barry's doing a fantastic job performing that walk if you see it from the front view. All right? Now, because he was doing a lot of reverse pivoting, his kinetic sequence was a little off. So if you go to my throwing the club video, and in my premium channel, we have, wow, just an amazing, how to create more club head speed, and throwing the club is a major part of that. And you'll see me on the range, tomahawking clubs at 75 yards up telephone poles in our netting system. And it's a real cool video. So I have a target, the wet paint sign. Hey, I got new signs, by the way. I got right next to the keep out, I got wet paint. So now we're going between those, and they're a little bit, when we see them down the line, they show up a little bit more because they're more of a fluorescent orange. So I have wet paint in my mind, and I want to throw the club to wet paint. Now, if I'm over here, it feels like I'm going to have to guide the club to wet paint. So what happens is, the weight moving forward in Barry's case forced him to stay in control of his arm club unit. Because he was in control of his arm club unit, his arms were getting a little low and he was holding on to them, so they weren't allowed to levitate upwards. So we talk about how if I had a ball and a string, the club head is the ball, the string is the shaft in the arm, and I'm letting that twirl around my shoulder socket, it creates a beautiful circle around that shoulder socket. So if I swing toward the Rory poster up there and my Nike poster, you'll notice how the club can't go that way anymore. It's forced upwards and back around. So if I bring both hands together to take the grip, sternal notch is the center of that, swing away, you notice how everything gets pulled up. Then I'm able to swing freely, twirl freely. So I'm using this ball and a string, and my brain says we're going to wet paint. Then I can let go of the club as it's going to wet paint. So that's my target. So I'm going to take this club, and I'm going to throw it to wet paint. Throw it to wet paint. Now you'll watch Barry perform the throw. Watch him from the front view on a couple of swings, and Matt's going to show you from the rear view. Now his alignment's a little off, but you'll see some beauty. The last 4 throws in that down the line view, you'll see how fantastic he's doing. So hopefully he's got his target, but he's beautifully throwing the club. So between his walking drill and throwing the club, we now have the right timing, abandon, and now we're using a very different system to find the ball. We're using G-forces that track the arm club unit, so if he performed the task of walking and throwing. So I'm over there, I start walking, throw, throw, throw. That's what I would like to see him do. So then when we put a ball down, we start the walk. Throw. So now we've got the abandon, the range of motion, the width, the timing. It's all coming together beautifully, okay? So I hope you enjoyed that. Barry, man, keep it up. You're doing a fantastic job. I look forward in a month or so to seeing how that swing is coming around, okay? And I look forward to that next video analysis from our next winner. All right, take it easy, guys. For a chance to win your very own swing analysis, go ahead and share this on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter for your chance to win.